The present moment is highly important, because it is from the present moment that we take action, whether that action is of an internal or an external nature. There are certain philosophical and religious groups that advocate a present focus at all times, which can seem to be a very good way to battle against the asleep and reactive nature of the mind. Unfortunately, this focus of attention on the present here and now moment only, and always, can become a kind of mental sickness itself, and a very rigid and non-creative mental trend can develop. I am not an individual that feels that we should spend all our time fighting to stay completely focused on the present here and now moment, which, as I have said, is taught by certain schools of thought. With even many of these philosophers stating that the human mind is a complete aberration, with no real redeeming value, aside for, I suppose, its ability to stay focused on the here and now moment. While I do believe that the mind needs taming, I do not practice the methodology of complete losing of mind. You see, I am a dreamer. I am someone who practices projection of consciousness, which is very much interested in using aspects of the human mind to move deeply into areas of inner space, which is really outer space, that can free me from many of my personal limitations. But these excursions of attention need a flexibility of mind, in some ways an expansion of mind, and the self, so in that sense I cannot obliterate my mind, I must cultivate it. But these excursions do require conscious and deliberate action, and therefore a need to focus on the expansiveness of the full present, which is indeed impossible, when attention is being constantly dragged away in an unconscious manner, into all sorts of past memories, and potential scenarios. Our memories, especially the more negative ones, do have a powerful magnetic and counterproductive drag on our attention. Indeed, the more negative that a past memory may be, the more powerful the draw, and there are certain memories that are so powerful that they make it impossible for the mind to focus on the present, in any way, for any extended period of time. There are many negative consequences resulting from the powerful tug of our attention, but in general they come down to one basic thing that is in essence responsible for all others, and that is that these negative memories are responsible for a great deal of energetic drain. The tug of these memories is really a draw on our energy body by an open wound that happened sometime in our past history. The tug of attention that we feel is really the seeping of energy, the release of energy, the draining of it, and that is what causes our attention to be drawn to that past event. And the only way to deal with the negative side effects of these energetically draining memories, negative side effects like the inability to focus on the present, for example, is to stop the energy drain. According to inner alchemy, we overcome this attention problem, not by trying to run away from the problem, and therefore trying with all our might to stay focused on the here and now time, but actually by using energetic techniques that allow us to face these old problems directly, and deal with them in a positive and energetic way. By doing this, we begin to heal ourselves, and we start to see that we can escape the need of the mind to relive these potentially awful memories and possible scenarios over and over again. As I said at the start of the video, I am not inclined to think that the one way to deal with the aspects of our mind that we do not like is to just try as hard as possible to only exist in the here and now, ignoring all of time, indeed rejecting our natural mind's seemingly unconscious remembering as an aberration, instead of seeing it for what it is, a warning signal, like pain, that tells us that we should look back and heal the open wounds that we have left in our history, and in that way to stop seeing all projection of the mind into the past or future as some kind of mental sickness. But I do believe that awakening, that is becoming conscious to the fullness of our mind, along with the ability to engage in conscious action, that is the conscious direction of attention, is all important. We should then become more aware of the sometimes seemingly unconscious projections of attention into other times and places, and we should also strive to become more conscious in general. It is the case, for example, that when our minds tug away from us and we don't even realize this refraction of attention has happened, and we are unconscious to the fact that we went from thinking about driving a car, or what we are going to have for dinner, to a memory of what happened a week or a year ago, then back to some other thing or another, and so on. We are not being conscious and awake, we are quite literally sleepwalkers, zombies. And that is what I feel should be controlled. Not so much the free flow of the mind, but our complete lack of conscious awareness of what is going on up there. We need to become more conscious, therefore, not more rigid and narrowed of attention. We need to become more, not less. Trying to forget about the past, by rigidly focusing the mind only on the here, place and now time, is a very stiff and unpolished method to control this unconscious state, this sleepwalking or zombie-like reality. But this rigidity of mind can atrophy other aspects of the whole self if practiced for too long, and it will not teach true conscious awakening in the long run. A better way to say this, perhaps, is to say that using this rigid focus of attention on the here and now, as opposed to attaining awareness of the whole presentness of reality, that is the boundlessness of mind that encompasses all time and space, will only help you to appreciate the physically present, the objective, which is such a small aspect of what is possible for a human being. And even though, over a long period of time, some may naturally transition into seeing greater aspects of this all-time, all-space presentness of awakened reality, using such rigid focus, a better approach, at least in accordance to inner alchemy, is to heal those old negative memory wounds, and take back some, if not all, of the energy that a person has had siphoned out of them, using energy reabsorption techniques taught in inner alchemy. This allows for a more naturally focused mind, that spontaneously begins to align itself with the awake consciousness-seeking individual, instead of fighting against them, by clouding that awareness with a potentially negative past. When a person is able to heal enough of these wounds over time, through discipline, they begin to feel lighter and lighter, as they free themselves from past chains. This in and of itself can greatly increase a person's energy level, so that they find that they have far more drive to be able to tackle present situations, instead of being lost in old memories. But far more importantly perhaps, this healing will naturally wake up the mind, to the holistic presentness of reality, and to the spaciousness of time and space. If you would like to know more about energetic reabsorption, and other techniques on dealing with the energy of the body, healing of past and present energy wounds, and how to increase energy in general using inner alchemy techniques, I recommend the book, The Magnum Opus, a step-by-step course. I will leave a link to this book in the video description below.